It's Tuesday, May 12th, 2026. It's the 132nd day of the year, and we've got a serious severe weather setup brewing. By Saturday, the plains are staring down a dangerous severe weather outbreak with large hail, destructive winds, and strong tornadoes, all potentially on the table before the threat explodes eastward into the Midwest on Sunday. But let's jump right in. That fire weather threat I flagged for you yesterday in the northern plains, it's actually getting a little bit worse now. We're adding 60-mile-per-hour dry microbursts to the mix, especially farther west. I'm actually highly confident that we're going to see critical fire weather conditions blow up on Wednesday across northeastern Montana and northwestern North Dakota. This is all happening because we got a fast-developing low-pressure system that's going to pull dry air southeasterly with the winds across the region, and that's going to crash the humidity down to a bone dry 10 to 15%. Grass out there is the driest it's been in a very long time, so any spark is going to take off and it's going to become almost impossible to stop. So this is happening today, it happened yesterday, it's going to keep happening tomorrow. And then, like I said, further west, we've got a strong jet streak punching over the Great Basin, and that's going to fire up some high-base thunderstorms across Utah, Idaho, and southern Wyoming. And the air near the ground is so dry that the rain is going to evaporate before it ever hits the surface. But there's still thunderstorms, right? So you still get the wind and you still get the lightning. You've got dry air in place. So it's literally the perfect storm for fires. So these dry microbursts could hit hard enough to take down power lines, even without fires, and shove semis sideways over the interstate. So make sure you're careful out here in this area, as this is honestly one of the most impactful weather events that we've got going on right now. But that's going to change as we go forward, because we're going to be switching gears from fire to thunder and severe weather. It looks like the severe weather hibernation is about to end, and Saturday is shaping up as our first real target day across the plains in a little bit. I'm seeing signals from today's data that this threat here is actually getting a little bit more serious compared to what we talked about yesterday. They're probably going to end up issuing an enhanced risk of severe weather for this, and the bullseye is probably going to be somewhere over Oklahoma and Kansas. This does include the I-35 corridor, but the risk could end up as far north as Nebraska, and the picture is getting sharper by the hour, really. By Saturday afternoon, a sharp dry line looks like it's going to set up from the Texas Panhandle into western Kansas, and the pattern is flipping from the western ridge over to a fire-hosing Gulf moisture plume right into the central U.S. Dew points are climbing into the 60s out ahead of this approaching wave of energy, and that's going to load the atmosphere up with a lot of storm fuel. It's going to be like a coiled spring. And when storms fire along that dry line late in the afternoon, they're going to have all that fuel ready to go, and they're going to pop up as discrete supercells. The window that I'm watching most closely is about 4 p.m. through 10 p.m. That's when the storms are going to be mature, and that's when they're going to tap into that peak daytime heating. And we're talking about a very large hail threat here that can crater windshields and wind gusts strong enough to snap power poles in half. The tornado threat is conditional right now, but if those storms were to stay isolated and grab onto some of the low-level shear, a few tornadoes are absolutely on the table. People down in Dallas, of course, are going to be asking about this. It still looks like the highest risk is just to your north, but you need a backup plan in case this whole thing shifts south. We've seen it happen before. We're still pretty far out, so things could change. So if you've got outdoor plans anywhere from Oklahoma City to Topeka, I definitely would make sure I had WeatherWise installed on my phone so you can keep an eye on those storms and see who's getting hit and who's getting missed. And here's where it gets even worse. As bad as Saturday looks, Sunday has the potential to be much bigger and much more widespread, especially in the Midwest. Yesterday, we were just starting to see hints of this, and today we're looking at a full-on, big-time impactful storm looking possible right now, including heavy rain and severe storms with hail and wind, and the tornado threat is going to, materialize potentially as we get closer, but the threat area is enormous here. We're stretching from Oklahoma and Texas again, all the way up through Iowa, Illinois, and into the Missouri Valley. The same western trough that's going to, cause problems on Saturday is going to deepen hard, and it's going to drag even juicier Gulf moisture way farther north, and we're going to have a strong surface low, probably tracking sub 1,000 millibars, and that's going to eject into the plains and crank up wind shear across across a huge warm sector. I'm seeing a growing signal for discrete supercells Sunday afternoon. So a lot of times with storms like this, you'll get the discrete cells on day one, but not the second day because you have a bunch of messy rain showers and stuff out ahead of it. But it looks like this is going to be more of a tornado threat potentially, especially across the central and southern plains. And by Sunday evening, those individual storms will probably merge into a fast-moving squall line. And when that happens, we're going to have destructive straight-line winds over 75 miles per hour, and that could be impacting places like Des Moines, Cedar Rapids, and Omaha. So if you're wondering whether to scrap your Sunday evening plans, the answer is probably yes. Be indoors before the sun goes down, because there's also a flash flood threat layered on top of all this, with training downpours that could put water over the roads by dinner time. And this whole mess is just going to keep pushing towards the Great Lakes and the Ohio Valley into Monday morning. So it's not just a one-day story. And with the line racing east, while a lot of the Midwest is already going to be in the bed, I gotta shout out y'all call, okay? We built it exactly for this. If a warning fires at your address at 3 a.m., the phone's gonna ring with my voice until you're up, conscious, and moving to shelter. And we're about to dive so much deeper into that. But first, let's shout out today's awesome sponsor. If you've been watching for a while, you know I'm a dog owner. Lately, I've noticed my dog, Luna, has been doing a lot of scratching and a lot of paw licking. Turns out dog allergies have actually gone up 30% in the last decade. You know that? That's why I'm happy to partner with today's sponsor, Better Wild. Better Wild makes vet-designed soft chew supplements for your dog's immune system and overall health. They have a few different options, but I use their allergy soft chews for my dog. Modern living can actually weaken your dog's gut health, and since 90% of a dog's immune system lives in the gut, that makes them way more vulnerable to allergens. So instead of just masking the problem, Better Wild targets the root cause by re-strengthening your dog's gut health with science-backed pre, pro, and postbiotics. They actually use a proprietary blend of wolf probiotics to help balance the gut microbiome. It makes sense when you think about it. Wolves naturally maintain strong guts, right? And your dog is pretty much a wolf. These chews are packed with natural ingredients like salmon oil, colostrum to soothe itchy skin and boost immune function. So go to betterwild.com/Ryan Hall for an exclusive Better Wild offer. We're talking about using the code Ryan Hall at checkout, and that's actually going to stack on top of their already discounted subscription pricing. Again, use the code Ryan Hall at checkout to get this exclusive Better Wild offer. Thank you so much, Better Wild, for sponsoring today's video. Now let's get back into the forecast. Okay, so we've got some pretty big storms coming for the plains, but let's forget about that for a second and let's talk about the eastern half of the country, because you guys are about to get a real blast of summer. In the last video, I told you to dust off your AC units because the heat dome over the southwest is going to start sliding east, and that trend is absolutely locking in. We've got a massive upper level ridge. It looks like it's going to plant itself over the Mississippi Valley, the Mid-Atlantic, and the East Coast, and the window that I'm really watching is May 17th through May the 25th. That's when the pattern really takes hold. If this ridge sets up the way that I think it will, it's going to clamp a lid on the atmosphere, clear out the clouds, and let the sun bake everything underneath it. We're talking about actual air temperatures in the 90s across Kentucky, Virginia, and the Carolinas. This is like middle of July heat in the middle of May. If you're headed to the Coca-Cola 600 in Concord, North Carolina on May 24th, I would definitely be prepared for brutal heat in those grandstands and pack way more water than what you think you'll need. It's still several days out, and just like the severe weather, this hot weather thing can shift around a little bit, but the signal is very, very loud, and it looks like we're going to be getting straight into a sweaty, oppressive summer over here on the east. And speaking of how stuff can shift around a little bit, that applies here with the nice weather outlook. In the last video, we talked about how the nice weather on Thursday was going to be more up in the Midwest, but it's actually shifted south a little bit. So it's not all doom and gloom down here. We've got some genuinely good news. The atmosphere is going to be absolutely flawless on Thursday. And once again, yesterday I had this pegged for the Midwest. Today it's starting to slide south a little bit because there's going to be a little bit more clouds up there in the Midwest on your Thursday. But if you are in Memphis, Birmingham, Huntsville, or Tuscaloosa, or anywhere in the Mid-South or, Southern Ohio Valley, Thursday is looking like your day. We're going to have a cold front coming in, and that's going to leave sinking air behind it, which crushes any chance of cloud cover cover, really. And I'm leaning towards a true perfect rating on our comfort scale because we're going to have highs around 73 to 75. Dew points are going to crash down into the crisp low 50s. So there's really not a hint of mugginess, and the rain chance is basically zero. This is patio dinner, long hike, windows open weather. Okay, the kind of weather that you've been waiting all year for. Honestly, pretty similar to today. Okay, today's really perfect across Kentucky, Tennessee, and a little bit of northern Alabama and Mississippi and stuff. But it's going to be similar to today, and it's going to be the perfect afternoon to take the dog on a long walk. Maybe one of those rescue beagles from Wisconsin that's been all over the news this week. There is one small catch. It's going to be very sunny. Okay, so if you get sunburnt easily, keep that in mind. But Memphis and Birmingham, Thursday is the day to call in sick. Once again, you've got my